Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Our mission today is to give you a shortcut to being well-informed, but, sometimes the best insights don't come from a perfect script. They come from just beautiful, glorious chaos.
Yeah, that's so true.
And today we are diving deep into one of those moments, an unscripted takeover of a live media broadcast where the whole structure just sort of fell apart. And a world-class athlete had to become a world-class producer in, real time.
That's right. We're dissecting the transcript of what people started calling the J.J. Watt takeover of the Pat McAfee show. It's a fascinating piece of material.
And the date is really specific, right?
It is. Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. And what this source gives us is just this amazing window into high-stakes improvisation.
And the reason for all this high-stakes improv, the host had to go to the bathroom.
Yes. I mean, it's the most relatable, most human production delay in the history of broadcasting, isn't it?
Absolutely. So the host leaves, and J.J. Watt just steps up. He offers to, what was the phrase he used?
He said he would hold a head coach for the next 5 minutes.
Okay, let's unpack that term right away, because that's not just random jargon. That's important.
It is. Holding a head coach is a very specific piece of sports broadcasting language. It's that time slot you save for a big interview, a pre-taped segment with, a major figure.
A high-profile guest.
Exactly. So Watt isn't just saying, I'll fill the dead air. He's volunteering to occupy this really high-value, scheduled slot with absolutely zero preparation. He just commits to talking to America.
And 5 minutes solo.
Yeah.
On live TV. That's an eternity.
Yeah.
So what's his plan? I mean, what's his instant strategy to keep thousands of people from changing the channel?
Well, that's what's so interesting. My first thought, and I'm sure yours too, is that he'd talk about football.
Of course.
Yeah.
Draft speculation, a quick story about a big game. That's the safe play.
It's the ultimate safe harbor. But he doesn't do that. He immediately launches into this spontaneous wellness check on the entire audience.
Why do that? Why avoid the one topic he is world famous for?
Because it's counterintuitive, but it's brilliant. If he talks sports, he's basically lecturing you. But by pivoting to your reality, to the audience's lived experience, he's building rapport.
So he starts by, just congratulating people?
Yeah, for making it through the holidays and into the new year. It's so simple, but it's really humanizing. And then he lands on this perfect, universal topic. New Year's resolutions.
The timing.
The timing is crucial. Remember the date, January 14th. By the middle of January, statistically, most resolutions are already failing.
Or they're totally dead.
Totally dead. And he knows this. He assumes correctly that you, the audience, are probably feeling a little bit of guilt or, failure. He doesn't judge. He just connects by acknowledging that slump.
Yeah.
And that builds instant trust.
So he's not giving sports analysis, he's giving free therapy, but he's not using vague, abstract language.
Not at all. It's an immediate intervention. The advice is so specific, so tactical, it's all focused on the next 4 hours of your day.
Which is really smart. He's not trying to change your life, just your afternoon.
Precisely. His goal isn't some big long-term plan. It's an immediate course correction for who we call the learner. The person in the audience looking for something they can actually use. He knows the learner needs a really low barrier to get back on track.
It's almost like he's in the car with you.
All right.
The monologue sounds like he's talking you through your commute home. He says, go to the gym after work today.
And he immediately cuts off the excuses. He's setting up these motivational guardrails. He warns, hop in the car, do not go to the fast food restaurant.
Right.
That prevention is key. Then he gives the action, hop on the elliptical, let's do some sets.
He even plans out their dinner. It's amazing.
Yes,
He tells them to get ourselves a nice, healthy dinner, stop at the grocery store, pick something up, make yourself a dinner.
And then the classic timeless advice, drink a little bit of water. The genius of it is that it's a simple two-step plan for the next few hours. It's not a whole new lifestyle.
And he wraps it all with that sign-off. It's a beautiful day to have a beautiful day.
It's just so contagious, isn't it? Pure, positive energy, all packed into maybe 2 minutes of totally unplanned airtime.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, this is an athlete who really understands media value. It's not just about what happens on the field.
It's a micro masterclass in emotional connection. The structure of the show collapses, and Watt just instinctively knows that the most valuable thing he can offer in that moment isn't his expert knowledge. It's this universal, encouraging advice.
And that energy, that focus on the audience, is what makes his next pivot so jarring.
It really is.
Because he goes from high-minded, positive motivation straight to wondering about the studio bathroom.
It's such a risky move, but it's a textbook example of using dynamic contrast. He goes from wellness guru to, like, backstage gossip in a split second.
And he does it by just shattering the fourth wall. He asks out loud, I really wonder how many people are in the studio right now listening to me talk while I'm just here on the screen all by myself.
He's using that feeling of vulnerability, talking into a void, to pull the audience in even closer, and then he starts calling out the crew.
Right, he's giving us a little backstage tour of who's not in the room with him.
Exactly. He sees Connor, and he notes that Connor was smart because he went to the bathroom before the show.
He was prepared.
And then he calls out Pito, saying he's 1,000% in the bathroom right now, and is probably, quote, creating a line because he's taken so long.
It's so relatable. Yeah. And it's so disruptive to what you expect from a broadcast.
Yeah.
I mean, why risk all the motivational goodwill he just built up with, plumbing humor?
I think it's absolutely strategic. The pivot from highbrow to lowbrow works because it feels authentic. The audience knows deep down that the guy who just told them to drink more water also has thoughts about his coworkers. It makes him seem real.
It grounds him.
It does. And then he takes that absurdity and he elevates it. He turns this really silly topic into an interactive contest for the audience.
Okay, yes. The question. What do you think the toilet paper consumption of the Thunderdome is on a daily basis? The Thunderdome, which is their studio, suddenly its bathroom habits are on full display.
And he throws out a guess himself. I would imagine 3 rolls a day.
It's incredible. He turns this gross, mundane detail into a real audience engagement strategy.
A high-value one. He tells the viewers on YouTube to start guessing the number using specific hashtags.
And he even creates a new hashtag on the spot. He tells them to use the normal show, hashtag PMS show, but then he invents a new one, hashtag JJWS.
The JJ Watch Show. He literally branded his own 5-minute takeover while it was happening. That's just pure marketing genius.
It is. He's creating this temporary little content bubble. And the prize, an autographed JJ Watt jersey, is so perfectly absurd for the contest.
It's brilliant. It's a high-value prize for a completely ridiculous question, which basically guarantees that the clip's going to go viral. And it keeps you watching because, well, now you want to know who wins the toilet paper guess game.
You can't script that. It's an entire chaotic micro game show segment, all created because the host needed a break.
And it really shows the difference between being prepared and just being present. He was so fully present in that moment, using every tool he had, including, talking about toilet paper.
So after this amazing run from life coach to facilities manager, the host finally gets back.
And we get this real-time debrief on how it all landed. The first thing the host does is confirm that Watt's strategy actually worked.
He said he heard the whole thing, right?
Yeah,
even when he was away.
He did. And he admitted that it had an effect on him. The direct quotes are amazing, he said. I did think about my resolutions that I gave up on, and I did think about drinking water.
Wow. So the motivational speech had an immediate, measurable impact on its target.
But here's where this fascinating bit of tension comes in. Watt, after being alone for so long, he actually thought they had cut away from him.
He thought he was just talking to himself.
For 3 minutes, yeah. He thought the audience was watching a commercial break or something. Which, when you think about it, just shows the incredible confidence it took to keep that monologue going with such high energy.
Believing no one was even watching.
Exactly. The crew immediately tells him, no, we never do that. They were all listening. The audience knew he was live, but he wasn't sure. That vulnerability just makes the whole thing feel even more authentic.
And we get a sense of the room, too. The transcript confirms who was actually in the studio watching him. Connor, Ty.
Ty was a surprise, yeah. Debut and AQ. So it wasn't an empty room, it was a packed studio, just silently watching this masterclass in improv.
But then the host points out a missed opportunity.
Right, and this is where you see the producer mindset kicking back in. The host points out that Watt could have threw to the back room.
Meaning he could have involved the rest of the production team. Like, cut to a camera in the control room for a reaction.
That's it. Foxy was mentioned specifically as someone who is definitely going to be there because he's on the thing. It's a reminder that even in this moment of chaos, the whole production infrastructure was still there and available.
Watt was so focused on just holding down the fort himself that he didn't even think to use the full team he had behind him.
A team he probably assumed wasn't there since he thought he was off the air.
So what does this all really mean for us? When you boil it down, this source material is just a masterclass in I don't know, crisis communication and content creation.
It really is. It shows that the true test of on-air talent isn't just delivering a perfect script. It's about what you do when the script gets thrown out. He took an awkward gap, a bathroom break, and turned it into this high-value, authentic, and completely viral moment.
And it teaches us that value in media isn't always about expertise. Sometimes it's about authenticity and that willingness to pivot from, high-minded motivation to lowbrow humor.
He created content that was so good, the main host was quoting it and benefiting from it seconds after he walked back on set.
Which brings up a really important question for you, the listener, to think about, especially in a world of perfectly curated media. Are we tuning in for the perfect structure? Or are we secretly hoping for that authentic human chaos to break through?
Yeah, think about the media you consume. How much of the value really comes from those unscripted, unvarnished moments of spontaneity when someone is willing to talk about hydration and, yes, toilet paper consumption all in the same breath?
The lesson here seems pretty clear. Sometimes the greatest content is born when the plan completely fails. We'll leave you to think on that. That's all for this deep dive.